I was working on a mix for this odd mob style track where there was a lot of interesting sound design stuff and synth stuff going on. And I wanted to show you how I was able to have a lot of delay and reverb on these synths without them all kind of blending together and just crowding up the mix. The trick was just using a utility to really control the length of the reverb and delay tails. So I'll show you what I mean. We have this neuro style bass up top here. And it has a reverb tail that kind of rings out in this section here. And then we have a second bass that comes in at this point here. And what I find can happen is if the reverb tail of this neuro bass is too long or too prominent, when the second bass comes in here, it can take away from the clarity of the second bass. So what you can do is automate the volume of the reverb tail to turn off when the second bass comes in. And in this case, I actually have the reverb tail automating up first to kind of pull you into that bass sound. So let me just really exaggerate this reverb, and I'll play the track first without the automation and then with the automation, and listen to how much clearer this bass sounds when it comes in the second time around. Right, to me, the automation just helps this second bass become so much more clear. And the reason that we can get away with an automation that's this drastic is because we're really playing with where people have their attention focused in the song. Right, in this first part, people are focused on this neuro bass. And then as soon as we get to this point here, their attention switches over to the second bass and they kind of forget about the neuro bass. Right, so if we had this automation, for example, like halfway through before we got to that second bass, it would sound really unnatural. And you don't have to be this drastic if you don't want to. You can just turn it down a little bit. But I find that controlling these reverb and delay tails avoids a bunch of them playing on top of each other and gives a bit more clarity to the mix overall. Hope that helps.